Hello, strong people. It is week 5, day 3, I think, of Olympic City Pro-Am Prep. It's my press accessory day. Got floor press on the menu. Axle floor press, I should say, to be specific. I have not pressed anything with this new axle yet. I've only done deadlifts, so I'm anxious to see how it feels in the hand. Um, I think it's 4 sets of 8, so hopefully we can get up to something fairly heavy. I haven't done floor press in what feels like a little while. It's fairly common in my training sessions, but just haven't had it recently, so should feel all right though. Um, what else? Oh, there's always some added danger doing floor press in here because the I guess the bottom, like even if I put my the safeties at the very bottom hole in the squat rack, it's like at that weird level where I could hit the safeties whenever I'm pressing. And I don't know if it's smart to do it this way, but I literally just take the safeties off and don't have a safety for floor presses, which probably isn't ideal, but I also don't leave clips on it. So, and with the diameter of this axle, the sleeves on it are slightly smaller than a barbell, and it's pretty slippery, so it should slide off no problem. Let's hope. Otherwise, you guys might get like a cool video of me like being stuck under 350 pounds or whatever we get up to. I hope it doesn't go that way, but you got to explore all possibilities. So let's get to it. All right. Well, that went pretty good. Pleasantly surprised, if I'm being honest. I really didn't know what to expect. I struggled getting my grip right, I'll be honest, width wise on that bar, but once I found it there on the last 2 sets, it moved pretty well. Because the bar weighs 68 pounds, I honestly wasn't even thinking about what I was doing while warming up. I was a little worried because I'm like, this thing is like, it feels heavier. And then I remembered that it is heavier. So I ended up but I remembered whenever around the 275 mark, which is actually 298 with this bar. So dropped off the 25, put another plate on. So it ended up being 338 I did for all 4 sets of 8. Was it my third set? I think it was my second set. I miscounted, did 7 reps. Oops. Good thing is the last set was a plus set. So I was able to get 1 more rep, so I feel like I made up for missing that one on the second set. So obviously I'm not very good at counting, it would appear. Also, these pants, you may be worried like, wow, those are so tight, those are probably cutting off circulation to his legs. It ain't that bad. They're not leggings. They're just pants. Maybe a size or two too small, but they're pants. Don't worry about my legs. They're fine. Anyway, I'm happy with that. I don't know if I've done 338 for 4 sets of 8 before. I don't really have any way of knowing. I don't track floor press that much. But, oh, good. The unrack was probably a little bit harder than it needed to be, but I do that on purpose because if I go 1 hole up, then The unrack's easier, but re-racking is harder. And obviously, you don't want a re-rack to be hard. It'd be difficult whenever you're benching solo and you can't just roll out of it like a floor press. So I think that was in my best interest to not go up a hole on the monolift attachments. Also, monolift attachments, those things are great. Highly recommend those if you bench squat by yourself. They don't, like, you still have to walk out or squat a little bit, but I love them for bench. I love them for squat as well. They're my preference, but I don't always get to use them because the way this Titan rack is, I don't know why they made this version this way, but the holes stop like a good foot from the top and a good foot from the bottom. So, and the monolift attachments hang down so far that even when I put them in the top hole on the rack, I can't use any of my normal squat bars. I can only use my the Titan Yukon bar with the big bow in it. That's the only bar I can actually use with my monolift attachment. So at some point, I'm going to get rid of this rack and get a different one. I don't know when that'll be. Probably not anytime soon, but definitely on my radar. Anyway, moving on to JM press. I believe it's 2 sets of 10. I'm pretty sure. Let's do it. Oh, God. Too heavy. JM press went well, except I got a little overconfident. I don't know what those weighed. I didn't do the math beforehand. I was just like a 25 and a 45. And then 2 45s is more than that, so let's do that. That was all I was thinking. I don't know. What was that? Because the bar is 61 pounds, so 185 plus 16, 201. And then, so that's what I did first set. Then 225 plus 16 is 241. So 241 I did for, I did 8 reps, I think, right? That's like unheard of. I never fail reps for accessories. That's just weird. That's a weird thing to say, if I'm being honest. Unless you're like pushing it to that, I guess that doesn't make sense. Because in general, some accessories are meant to be pushed to failure. So I guess I've never hit the rep goal, or I've never not hit the rep goal. Like if it's 10 plus, meaning minimum 10 reps, then I've always hit that. So it's kind of weird to think that I didn't hit that. Maybe I'm overthinking. Either way, that was heavy. It felt good though. So what I'm about to do is face pulls. I'm going to superset them, sort of superset them with the overhead tricep extensions. But I have 4 sets of face pulls and only 2 sets of the tricep extensions. So we're going to do 2 sets of these first. And I moved it over this way because there's more room over here. So you're probably about to get real up close and personal with the back of my head. Because I'm going to lean back, be able to get a better stretch on this. Yeah, I could do better. I could do more tension next set for sure. It felt pretty good though. I feel like I was about to say something. I have no idea what it was. Oh, the company that I have an ambassadorship with, I have a coupon code for. Wait It Out. The person who makes I shouldn't say the person. I don't know exactly how many guys are part of the company, but the people who make these plates, super thin with handles, they just came out with a bumper that is not. I would be willing to bet it's only slightly wider than this 10-pound bumper. So just for reference, 45-pound thickness, 10 pounds, and their 45 is slightly thicker than that. I mean, to me, that is, I have not seen thin bumper plates like that. And I don't know. To me, that's crazy innovation, because I think it's a great idea. Because I genuinely would buy a bunch of those. Like, if you're lifting at home, I'll talk after this set. I'll go a little more tension this time. Oh, that was better. And they're not like paying me to say this. Like, yeah, my ambassador coupon, like if people use it, I get money. Like, I don't know what it is, 5% or something. So yeah, it's something. But they're not straight up giving me money to be like, to tell you about these plates. But they are. I want some of those plates. Because an issue that I've run across is that plate storage for sure. And then I know for a lot of home gyms, bumper plates they take up a lot of room. Usual ones, the 45s, and then like for gym the like concrete floors, obviously bumper plates are going to help that. They're going to save your floor. So if you can only use bumper plates, but you're strong enough that you're running out of room on the bar, then it makes sense to buy some of those. For like commercial gyms and stuff too, like obviously space wise, I see gym racks all the time in videos where there's like 245 bumpers on a squat rack, and there's just no room to fit anything else. So you got to go across the gym to grab more, steal it from someone else's squat rack. It's just a hassle. And I don't think anybody likes to do that. But for real though, I'm going to get some of those plates because I need them in my life. I would love to replace these Rogue 45s. They're fine, but sometimes you just want the weight to be a little bit more condensed, especially when you get up to the higher numbers. It's just like for oh yeah, now that I'm thinking about it, training for regionals later this year, it's a max deadlift, standard max deadlift with you're allowed suits. So I have some pretty big plans for that, and I'm going to need some thinner plates because I don't know how much I can fit. I'll be honest. We'll see. This might be too heavy. Even my triceps are already pretty burnt. Yeah, that was heavy. Figured I'd talk through this whole set. Why not? Make things go a little faster. I'm feeling rather energized tonight. I tried a different pre-workout, so I'm liking it. I'm liking it a lot. Probably going to keep using it for a while. Oh, God. I ate some Girl Scout cookies. That was my pre-workout snack. I think they did some good things because I'm feeling pretty good. which isn't usually typical for a Thursday. Feeling a little bit more awake. All right, back to face pulls. Gotta keep the elbows high. Oh. I've been seeing a lot of people kind of take up this video style. Just kind of chatting while working out, you know, not overly edited, not a bunch of crazy effects or crazy, I don't even know what you want to call it, transitions or music in your face. I'm probably going to call that the Sam Sulek effect, because I didn't notice much of it before him, at least not in recent years. When I first got into lifting, that's what it was all about, which is what I prefer. There was a lot of fitness influencers, whatever you want to call them. They weren't called that back whenever I watched stuff originally. Like when I first got into lifting and strongmen, I just called them YouTubers that were, you know, strongmen. They're just posting their training footage, which is all I wanted to see. I wanted to see how they actually trained. I don't want to see over this all fluffed up garbage that some people post. I can't even give you an example because I just don't watch that many anymore. There's very few that do it. Like even Brian Shaw, a lot of his stuff was over edited in some ways, not always. And I understand he doesn't show a whole lot just because, you know, training competitions high up, they want to hide some of their stuff, which I don't even fully understand. Like, you're Brian Shaw, we know what you're going to bring for the most part. I know Joey Zatmary has been doing more of the longer training videos, just, you know, minimal music, minimal editing, which I love. He was a big inspiration getting into strongman, mainly because he was, you know, he's a PA guy like me. So I always had hopes of going and competing at his gym, but it just never happened. And that's okay. And then the Stolten brothers have been putting out, I think they're calling it Raw Strongman, which I think it's a great name for it. Because it is, that's what it is. It's raw footage of what we do. I say we, they probably do stuff a little bit different than I do, being that that is their day job. They're professional strongman. That'd be pretty cool though, right? A lot of people say that, but they probably don't actually mean it, just because of all the work that you would have to put in. Like, yeah, you get to lift and compete and have fun, but like, that type of stuff is a 24-hour job. Like, I do it on an amateur level, obviously, and it's a lot of work still. Now, don't get me wrong, I wouldn't trade it for the world. Mainly because I don't know what I would do without it. I just sit on the couch for an extra 2.5, 3 hours every night. That's just, I can't do that. But, so obviously what I do is small scale compared to what they do. But, it's still hard. You know, it's expensive. Competitions are now all like $100 at least to sign up for. You got to pay for the membership. And then leading up to it, you probably have a coach if you're pretty serious. You got to pay for the food. You got to pay for hotels if you're traveling. And the better you get, the more expensive it gets. Up until you're like the best. And I'm assuming, this is just a guess because I don't know, but a lot of the high up guys, the top guys that are at every major show, they probably have their way paid there, I would guess. If they're invited, I would assume they'd be paid for. That's an assumption. And of course, they go for prize money and all that fun stuff. They get paid through sponsors, but I mean, like, if you know, it's still, I mean, depending on what the show is and how much the prize money is, you could still be at a loss, you know, depending on the show. Between the food bills, Now, I understand a lot of those top guys are, I'm talking about the people right now that are just not to that top level, like just below it. They might not have the sponsorships for food or supplements or whatever it might be. So they're probably losing quite a bit of money each year if they're really trying to break into that top scene. But then once you're up there and you make a name for yourself, you get sponsorships, coaching opportunities, new clients if that's what you're into, getting your ways paid for if you're invited. It would still be a ton of work, I'd have to imagine. It'd be cool to live it for a year, though, just to see what it's actually like. Unlikely, but that doesn't mean we aren't going to try to at least compete at some high-level shows at some point. Still young in my strongman career, I'd say, if you can call it a career. It's a hobby. We all know it is. Some of us are just a little bit crazier about it than others. That's okay, because I love it. All right, so this is going to be the last movement I'm going to record. I've never done this movement before. I mean, I've done a variation of it, but not this variation. So I actually don't even know if 25 pounds is going to be too heavy for this or what, but it's it could be kettlebell. I don't have a kettlebell, but it's supposed to be kettlebell up, so you grab by the handle and then the bottom's pointing up. Arnold presses. So the way to mimic that is with a plate, and this feels heavy already, so gotta reposition that. Wow, that is really challenging if I'm being completely honest. I hope the left hand is able to hold up to that. Let's find out. Oh, God. That's bizarre. I have one more set of those, but we're going to close up the video there. That was surprisingly challenging. That's a good way to end the workout. End for you guys. I feel like I was going to say something. Oh, so I might have something cool happening Friday, hopefully. That's the plan. Still a little bit unsure if I'm going to train tomorrow or Saturday. I feel like it has to be tomorrow, which isn't ideal because we should be fine. Saturday we're going some bowling, which I haven't done in a while. I'm going to bowl 300 without a doubt. No. Anyway, I can't train after bowling, and I don't want to go before just because it's at like that weird in-between time. Bowling's like 11 to 2, I think. So I would have to get up really early, and I'm not about to do that. Which, I would if I absolutely had to, but it's not an absolutely have to. So we're not going to. We're going to do it tomorrow night. I don't know if I'm going to work overtime or not tomorrow. I'm thinking maybe, but it's probably going to be no. I don't want to work overtime, get my workout pushed back, and then interfere with the other cool thing that's supposed to be happening Friday night. So probably won't work overtime, which is fine. Maybe I'll do some early Saturday morning. I would wake up early for that, especially if I don't have to train later in the day. Oh, God. Oh, that is so bizarre. It's only 25 pounds, but that rotation, keeping it stabilized, is wild. And it's working my shoulders for sure, even though it's light. For that movement, though, I have no idea if that's heavy, light, whatever. I don't know if that'd be harder or easier with a kettlebell. Doesn't matter. I don't have a kettlebell to test it with, so I'll have to go with that. Anyway, this video is probably long enough. If you stuck around to this point, congratulations. Also, this channel is growing way faster than I thought it would. I didn't expect to have 25 subscribers within, I don't even know how long I've been doing this. 4 months? 5 months? No, before then. I think I started this leading into nationals, so maybe 6 months now. September. My microphone died there at the very end. I said my wife has dinner ready and waiting. She didn't have to do that, but she did. So I appreciate that. I love her, and she asked me if I was almost done, so the answer is, of course, yes. And that's it. That's all you missed. Thankfully, it only cut out there at the last minute or so. So go out, get strong, stay strong, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.